Leaders stop the bus when it feels like it's spinning out of control. Give yourself a break. Leaders don't have to know everything. You can't be everything to everyone. When we're in leadership roles, we think we have to do everything and have to be involved in every decision. It's not true. It's not realistic, and it shouldn't be your reality. When we work like this, we're making it really hard for ourselves. There's a team, and that's what we're meant to work through. We're leading a team. Leadership is about responsibility, and that can weigh heavy. It is serious. It's harder to do when we're in new situations. And leadership has another weight to it: experience. When you are inexperienced, you don't know what you don't know. You're green, and it seems okay to make mistakes and to get things a little bit wrong. After all, we're new and it's just beginning, and it's expected. For experienced leaders, however, the weight can seem heavier. Because we are experienced, we think we have to be more, to do more, and to have it all under control, all of the time. First of all, this is more about you. Your guilt, your expectations of excellence, than reality. Reality is we are human, and it's okay to not get it completely right. 80% is good enough sometimes. Making mistakes is expected. It's human. When we're leading big schools or in situations, all sorts of, or difficult situations, sorts of things run through our mind. What if they find out I don't really know what I'm doing? Big question. We ask ourselves that one often. What if they find out I don't feel like I'm in control? Again, this is normal. It is learning, and it's scary. Leaders should always be in control, but only in control of themselves. There isn't a lot of room for any leader to lose control, and never is it acceptable for leaders to lash out at others. But it's okay not to feel in control of a situation. There are things here to learn. How do you know when you are stressed? Do you know yourself well enough that you can identify your triggers? Do you know what stress looks like? Do you know how you respond to the systems and processes when they're not working? Do you know how you react when you are faced with challenges? It is really hard to lead in these situations, and you have to think on your feet. Stop the bus. Stop. Be brave. Just stop. Our natural tendency is to work harder and to grasp at control, to move things faster. We see many leaders who start then to micromanage. They try to control what they can control. These are symptoms and reactionary solutions. This is unwise and behaviour that we should monitor so as to self-check our stress levels. Understanding your zone of genius is important. Get to know it and start playing with it. What are you great at? Where do you work best? And then who on your team has what skills? What are their zones of genius? And how do you use these to make a team so that you've got it all covered? Where you will trip up here is when your ego and your need for authority get in the way. Let it go. There's a really good song about that. Let it go. When you have to control everything and have to have the last say, you're headed for trouble. Empower your team. You might have ultimate responsibility, but guess what? It's not your school. You are not the only cog in the wheel. Without your team, you are not going to succeed. In fact, your success is measured by your team. Too often we talk team, empowering and delegation, but it's the leader that has that love of power and control. Self-check. Is it because you want to, or you don't know how? What does this say about your leadership? What message does this send to your team? Are you about power? Are you about delegation? I don't know. Covey talks about your circle of influence, your zone of control. Who can you influence? What is in your circle of influence and control? Deal with this. Stop trying to save the world. Stop the bus. Reset. Reseat everyone and start the journey again. Pit stops are allowed and advisable. Remember Simon Sinek? Education is an infinite game. It's a long, long drive ahead of you. And even in the worst of storms, remember, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain.